The way that we've done the labs this last semester and doing this semester as well, and this is how I anticipate today will go. We'll start off on the whiteboard and have an agenda. Basically, we'll go around the room. Who are we? Very briefly, who are we? And are there some main ideas or topics or thoughts that we have, questions that we have that we'd like to learn today? And that way we can have a very personalized session as we go around and have stories and experiences. If we find something that's useful, we can sort of check it off here and maybe get some tips out of it here. And we'll repeat that until all of everybody's topics are answered or we run out of time. More often than not, we run out of time. I will, and if I don't, please help me remember to ask a quick check before the end of the day and say, are there any questions that we haven't answered or haven't gotten around to, or any new ones that have come up that are really important? Because we want you to leave having questions answered. So that's our thing for the day. Oh, I should say we also have a Canvas course, and at the activity sheet. And at the very top of the activity sheet, we have this little paragraph that tells you how to get into the Canvas course. The only way that we really use the Canvas course is to host this activity sheet. And the links in the digital version of this are a lot more useful than the underlying things in this paper version. They lead to better information. We also have an additional handout today that Jennifer put together for us. And thank you for that. So we have 10 copies of that as well. Any other questions, announcements that people would like to start off with? If not, would anybody like to introduce yourself and tell us, very briefly, what brought you here? What questions do you have?
I'll start. So this is actually my first day with academic technology. Yeah, Greg brought me here today, and some of you are actually familiar faces because I'm from user services. We do it. So Ty, probably here. But so yeah, so I'll be doing some work with AT part-time and then maintain my role with user services as well.
Great. So Greg Cunnam, I'm with Academic Technology. I'm the service lead for our online course production group, which means we're a team of people that supports faculty and other staff on campus that need assistance with content online.
I'm Martine Anderson. I'm also from Academic Technology, and I'm always curious as there's new emerging platforms and things like that, how we continue to watch for accessibility, make things like that accessible, and yeah, things like that, interactive content.
I'll put that down as how to keep up. Thank you.
But do sub-note interactive content in case somebody doesn't.
Also, accessibility of interactive content. That's good. Yeah, because we got text down, right?
Maybe in Canvas, headings in Canvas.
Lisa.
So I'm from the Department of Environment, Health, and Safety, and I develop online courses in chem safety. And so I came to learn more about accessibility. Yeah, I get the alt text and transcripts. What else needs to be done?
All right, great. Good.
Hi, I'm Lynn Frost. I teach in the biochemistry department, and I'm here to pick up some practical ideas and develop some best practices. I don't think I think about accessibility as much as I could. Think about more.
I'm Lauren Merrill. I work on summer term, but I was invited as a contributor because I used to work at Epic in quality assurance, and I did Section 508 compliance testing for a while, so I've that background.
All right.
Jennifer Gibson, Assistant Professor of French and Affiliate Faculty with folklore, supposedly. Though most of what I do seems to have to do with online course design and educational technology, so I'm not really sure, but very passionate about this topic, and especially as more faculty are moving things online, how can we foster faculty buy-in to do things right from the start? upfront time investment that saves us massive amounts of time and liability later. And is good for all of our students. And how can we invert, my whole handout is on how can we invert the paradigm from accommodation to designing for inclusivity.
Margaret or Jennifer?
I'm Margaret, and I'm new here. I'm a graduate student at the iSchool, but working here with John and Jennifer.
I've been in faculty engagement with John, and I'm interested in kind of what's the latest experiences or questions or challenges with accessibility.
Jennifer?
I'm Jennifer Hornbaker, and I'm a project assistant with Do It Academic Technology. And I think that tackling accessibility, especially in Canvas, can be really overwhelming. So I'm interested to see like some focus areas that people have worked with, like what's a good starting place, basically.
All right. And then
Todd Schwanke, McBurney Disability Resource Center. I work in the area of McBurney, which works with direct services. So I'm taking document conversion, adaptive furniture, pretty much anything technology or kind of direct to the student. Also my area is interpreting and captioning. And with captioning, we do both live in the classroom as well as post-production video captioning.
all right.
Around accommodation, primarily around accommodation, or many times in the conversation about proactive accessibility.
And I know we're going to revisit it at another lab this semester in the Kaltura, but video captioning, I think, is always one of those topics. So I'm not that bad. Phyllis, how are you? Do you have any questions about today?
Oh boy. Hello. Sorry I'm late. No questions so far, but
All right.
I'm sure I'll come up with a few here.
All right. So let's start by inverting it into and reframing it from accommodation to inclusive teaching.
Well, let's talk first about what the accommodation
All right,
paradigm
that's
is.
fair enough.
Which, if we think about it from the student's perspective, student goes through all kinds of processes and gets all kinds of documentation, and it's not minor in many cases, and goes through the processes at the McBurney Center and eventually comes up with this letter, which, thank y'all, is now electronic. Because having students marching around to professors was just all more dehumanizing. So I get this, you get this thing, and how do you, as instructional staff or faculty, feel when you have a McBurney Center email pop up in your inbox the day before classes start? You're excited, aren't you? Yay! It puts the student in a position of asking a person in power, the faculty member, for something, and on the terms of being defined by what the student cannot do. This is my disability, and this is what I need you, powerful faculty member, to do, and to have a meeting with me about this. Really not a very good way to start off an instructor-student relationship, we could agree. And so I started to write on here, make your students with disabilities cry, deny as many accommodations as possible. It's my goal. I do it. But I do it because I say, actually, you don't need to do anything. You're overwhelmed with relief. It's done already. It's largely accessible. I'm here if you have problems, but I would love to meet you as my student. You don't need to make a special appointment with me to talk to me as a student with disabilities. And then they're relieved, and they go off to their list of 6 other professors they have to make appointments with. So how do we invert that paradigm where we can save time as faculty and instructional staff? Because then it wouldn't happen the day before classes start. We could let students with disabilities be students first, and we could make things better for all students, because not everyone has formal accommodations in place, or they just got a diagnosis. It's taking 2 months to prove that they're really 20-something years old and losing their hearing, and they're waiting for their stuff to come through, and they're sitting in my classroom, and et cetera, et cetera. And just the general concepts of universal design and learning. We know the more flexibility there is, and the more modes of expression and assessment, better. So I put disability at a digital crossroads because I really think it is. That this is a time when a lot of decisions are being made, but also a lot of culture of, is this something we do in this department? Is this something we do at this institution? I'm a folklorist the rest of the time, you know, I think about these things. In terms of faculty buy-in, the culture of it, is it something that is shown as expected or valued, or is it an afterthought that you only do if you have to comply? It's usually framed in terms of what do I have to do, and I'm trying to frame it in terms of what could we do? How is this a space of innovation? And I will give one example, which is not at all specific to Canvas, which is work with any learning management system. I personally, for my own disability accommodations, can't stand up and write at a chalkboard. Now, you cannot be possibly worthy of teaching languages at UW and not be able to stand up and write at a chalkboard. You just got to go, if you can get into Van Nuys Hall, then you can find that out, okay? There's a lot of ifs there, though. But that's just the way it is. And I've been in the face of 3 head university councils over it, and it's still kind of the way it is. So you find another way. And UW Google Docs offer a tremendous way to have a virtual chalkboard. And in D2L, I even make my own headings and all that, you know. But Canvas doesn't want me to do fancy stuff. And that's okay, I can put links, you know. And if you present it to students as it's virtual chalkboard versus I can't stand up at the chalkboard, you're starting in more positive tones already. And I had to justify to the tenured faculty in my department that writing on the chalkboard was not an essential job function. So I did a lot of explaining. And in the course of that, I realized this is really